To be living elemental is to be living a more balanced life. I'm your host, Sara and the founder of Jade Scott Design. Through my interior design studio and feng shui practice, I awaken clients to the idea that their home is just as essential to their well-being as is to their mind and bodies. Essentially, nature's elements create balance and support, and through the lens of home, we can utilize their power when applied intentionally. Through this podcast, it is my intention to open you up to the idea that by living elemental through mind, body, and spirit will have a significant impact on your home and your life. We've almost completed our Bagua Spotlight series, and this week I'm going to talk to you about Children and Creativity Center of the home. This area or energy center symbolizes your creative pursuits and children. You can sort of think of that connection that they share in terms of giving birth to creative projects and expression. You can enhance this area of the home if you're looking to tap into your creativity more, or if you do have children, this area can also be enhanced to help them improve their learning skills or even perhaps improve your relationship to them. I've even addressed this area with clients who are trying to get pregnant or have been struggling to get pregnant. I think back to when I was in my corporate career and I was really feeling uninspired by the work I was doing. I felt really boxed in and just sort of was grinding away at what I consider to be monotonous work. It was send emails, go to meetings, test applications for development. It's very regimented, very predictable. It just really lacked any sort of creative expression. And I was craving that creativity. I started working with a coach to sort of figure out what was next. And I knew I needed a change, but I didn't really know where to start. And so when I first started working with her, one of the questions asked was, what did you enjoy as a child? Because children or even teenagers, they have passions and they're connected very easily. Things like artistic abilities, talents, hobbies, they come quite naturally to us when we live in that present moment, just as children do. They are naturally drawn to ideas and outlets that are good for them, that feel good to them, things that they enjoy. So working with this space is a really wonderful way to reconnect with your own inner child and tap back into those creative pursuits. So here's a few questions you can ask yourself or even journal on if you'd like to. How often do I make time for creative outlets? This could be artistic outlets, dancing, gardening, cooking. How often are you doing that? Do I even feel like I am a creative? A lot of people say, especially working in design, people will hire me because I have the creative vision, something they feel that they lack. And that's not really correct. We are born as creators. We create every single day, whether we are conscious of that or not. Creativity is not just about being an artist, being a musician, being an actor, being a writer. If you tend to say you're not creative or you can't meditate, that's another common one. Just look at what your child or your grandchild is engaged in. They're quite often engaged in creation or meditation, right? And I bring up meditation because there is this idea that meditation has to look like sitting lotus, chanting, eyes closed. And I don't really believe that either. When I am in the flow, when I am ease, when I am aligned, when I'm creating, that to me is also meditation. When I watch my son build a Lego set or get immersed in a sketch that he's working on, or I watch my daughter put paint to a canvas. To me, that's their meditation. I mean, I don't know very many children that sit quietly, chant, and can do that for a sustained period of time. No, the way they meditate is through creation. So just think about that. If you feel as though you can't meditate, well, what can you create? Do I feel stuck or am I struggling to complete certain projects? Sometimes this gua is also known as the completion center. So, working with it to help bring closure to projects or perhaps some sort of cycle in your life that then creates or invites a new beginning. When one thing ends, another begins. And so, just like in my example with my corporate career, to close that chapter of my life and bring something new in that felt more aligned creatively, which is what I was craving, this would be an area of my home that I could work with to help support that desire. Another question you could ask is, do I feel joy? Just like newborns or little children bring this sense of joy and innocence. You are literally witnessing new life being created. Again, back to we are creators. And that just brings us a lot of joy. You're happy to be interacting with this baby or this child. You're happy for the family, for their new gift or their new quote unquote bundle of joy, right? So work with this area if you want to bring a sense of more joy and happiness into your life. And as I just mentioned a moment ago, if you're looking to become pregnant or you've been struggling to get pregnant, or the relationship with your child or teenager could use a little improvement, then this could also be a really wonderful area of the home to work with. So to locate this gua, make sure you've downloaded a copy of the bagua map. There's a link in the show notes for you. As you're standing in the front door or the door leading into a room, whichever you're working with, this area is located on the middle right side of your home. So sitting between the love corner and the helpful people corner, which we've already done episodes on. So be sure to go back and listen to those. Again, you can always work with your main floor plan, or you can just work within your own bedroom. We always start with removing what's not needed, wanted, or supported. So clutter in this area will hinder your creative flow. You might be experiencing that lack of energy in completing projects, or you might notice that the relationship with your child is or has been sort of suffering. It's important to clear it out and get it organized. Keeping this area organized helps pull in the energy of the metal element, which is the supportive element for this area. As we've learned a few weeks ago in the Helpful People and Travel episode, metal is known as that great organizer and is supported also by the earth element. So calling on those two to sort of organize and contain any objects or supplies in this area is going to be really helpful as well. You can incorporate family photos of your children or joyful time spent with them, perhaps on vacation or birthday parties, for example. Display those in metal frames is an easy way to bring in that metal element. Other metal accents can be brought in, such as decorative trays, bowls, brass candlesticks, and also gemstones and crystals, which I also touched on in a previous episode. Ones that I might suggest here for this section would be yellow citrine or yellow calcite. You can get those in a variety of colors, but the yellow works really well here because it helps support the energy of that space, as does white or other pastels. And also, of course, metallics, again, to pull in that metal element. So brass, silver, gold, etc. Depending on your layout or your floor plan, this area of the home could work really great as an art space or a crafting space. You could also display your artwork or even your children's artwork, colorful books, coloring books, sketch pads. Depending on how young they are, you could neatly organize and stow their toys, games, puzzles, etc. Especially as a family, and talking about connecting back to that joy we want to feel, games and puzzles, things that you enjoy together could be neatly stored or even displayed here. Other common enhancements include more yang elements, as metal is yin. So to help balance that, you could add additional lighting, other life sources such as fish tanks or healthy plants, could work really great here to help lift up the energy. Again, pulling in that yellow or white with fresh flowers, maybe yellow tulips or sunflowers, but also through artwork, maybe pillows or throw blankets in yellows, whites, pastels. So that's it for children and creativity. Remember that these are just some general guidelines. Take what resonates with you and apply them to your space. And also remember that these bagua spotlights are really just one part of the equation. If you're desiring some changes in your life, your floor plan and its relationship to the bagua is really just one part of the whole. In a consultation, there's a lot more to take into consideration to make things shift. So, if you need more assistance or you want to work one on one, please reach out. I'd be happy to offer you a free 20-minute consultation to see if feng shui is a good fit for you and your desired lifestyle. Be sure to download the Bagua map to help familiarize yourself with these areas. The link is always in the show notes. We have explored all 8 guas, and I have one more to talk about, and that is the Health and Well-Being Center. This gua touches all other 8 guas. For us to be complete and centered, all guas need to have a sense of balance. And that's sort of what I'm referring to when I say that, just looking at one section of the home is only one part of the whole. But hopefully you've been listening and most likely have an intuitive sense about what areas of your life could use some improvement. And so I'd love to support you on that. You can get in touch via my website at jadescottdesign.com. There's a contact form so you can reach out for that initial 20-minute discovery call. Take a look at the items for sale in the shop. And as always, if you are enjoying this podcast, please subscribe, rate, and review, or share any of these episodes. I'm really trying to expand my reach and could certainly use your help. Sometimes it feels as though I'm just talking to the void. So let me know you're out there. Let me know if you're enjoying these episodes by leaving a review, or you can always send me an email at jsd@jadescottdesign.com. And of course, you can always DM me or tag me on Instagram at jadescottdesign. Thank you so much. Until next time, much love and gratitude.